prevalence. Let me just drop the fact on you that's in the literature for 70 years, which explains why it's a female problem. No one reads the scientific literature, but it's in there clearly in many different types of articles addressing chronic inflammation. Chronic inflammation is exacerbated by estrogen. That is why TMD is primarily a female problem and fibromyalgia is a female problem. Because of this one fact, estrogen exacerbates inflammation. And all the symptoms are driven by chronic inflammation within the temporomandibular joint, so it stands to reason it would be expected to be a female problem if estrogen exacerbates inflammation. This is not rocket science, ladies and gentlemen. It's not rocket science. It's just a little bit of reading within the science that is already there, which is actually what I did. I read various articles about inflammation, chronic inflammation. I knew a lot about temporomandibular joint, treating it 36 years surgically, well over 2,000 surgical procedures, and then 14 years ago decided the surgical route is not the best, could not be the best route to treat this problem, because a third of the patients would be back within a year or two with the same symptoms, which led to my independent research, which I've talked about extensively, and findings. So back to the topic, what is the prevalence? What is the real prevalence of TMD? Well, we start out in the quote articles between 15 and 30%, depends on the country, depends on the culture, etc. But actually, it's much higher. I quote, and I'll tell you why I quote this. I'll explain it thoroughly. I quote that at least 45% of the female population in the United States of America have and exhibit and suffer from TMD symptoms. Let me run through it again, what the symptoms are. And there is no dispute. Of course, this is all a loaded question. TMD is probably, if not the highest, probably one of the most frequently argued topics within dentistry. And it shouldn't be, but it is, because most of the people who try to treat this treat it from the wrong point of view. They treat it from the point of view that this joint is different. My first discovery was this joint is no different than any other joint in the body. That is a fact.